Okay, guys, I cannot work under these conditions. They are onto us. They know that we want to use the internet to turn everyone into Nazis. We must burn their books. Right, so once again, Trump was right.
Sir,
I'm changing it from fake news, though.
doesn't that undermine...
Very fake news.
I know, but aren't you...
Okay.
We've graduated from the era of fake news. Now, the useful idiots in the leftist Lügenpresse are officially very fake news. I mean, a couple of months ago, I at least felt like a few of them were still sort of trying, but it's pretty clear that now they have totally left the reservation and resigned to calling everyone they disagree with a Nazi.
These are literal Nazis we're talking about.
So a couple of days ago, the Rebel had a freedom rally in Toronto. Some context, Canada's government, under our feminist Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has an MP from Pakistan, and she apparently misses her country of origin so much she couldn't help herself from introducing a "thou shalt not offend my prophet" blasphemy motion. So the parliamentary motion demands a, quote, whole of government approach to eliminating Islamophobia, without ever defining what that means, by the way. Now, with a Liberal majority in our House of Commons, there's a really good chance that this thing will pass, which will mark a giant advancement for Sharia speech codes in Canada. Suffice it to say, it's all totally bonkers. And so the Rebel held a rally for free speech to protest this madness. Now, a bunch of Canada's very fake news journalists, apparently content with their careers devolving into the production of what amounts to gossip columns, well, they asked to attend, so of course we let them. We have nothing to hide. Come on in, you freaky little tatted up ears pierced unwashed Vice journalist, and yeah, bring your beady-eyed BuzzFeed friend too. Obviously, we knew that they weren't there to talk about a grassroots movement of patriots who love free speech. No, they were there in the event we spontaneously broke out into robes and masks and conical hats and began shooting rounds into the ceiling while line dancing to Dixie's Land. And aside, I honestly missed a step. Sometime after we were all charged with working for the Russians, right-wing journalists suddenly became white supremacist KKK Nazis in the eyes of our comrades on the left. I mean, points for imagination, but I just really feel like that escalated very quickly. So these brainwashed gossip columnists show up, and it's literally the most normal crowd in the world. Moms, dads, grandparents, young kids, black people in MAGA hats, white people with kippas, and a lot of new Canadians who actually fled tyrannical states like the former Soviet Union, not to mention innumerable survivors of Sharia law from places like Pakistan and Iran. So in light of the painfully normal crowd of rally-goers, what does the very fake news do? Do they report on what they witness? No, no, no. They are duty-bound to employ the very fake news golden rule. Depict right-wingers as Nazis, even without proof. So it all started off with this tweet from a Vice News employee whose beats include tree-hugging and feminism. She said that she saw a Nazi salute from our crowd. Now, ignoring the fact that the event was hosted by us at the Rebel, you know, an organization run by Ezra Levant, my Jewish boss, who employs individuals who are gay and black, well, the Lügenpresse, their interest was piqued. Then the evidence. What? You don't see what I'm talking about? Here, let's zoom in. That guy, obviously doing a Nazi salute in the back. Can't you see him? Now, luckily, these committed reporters found a clearer pic. And that's when the Vice BuzzFeed Canada Land narrative fell completely apart. Because as it turns out, the closet white supremacist Nazi, yeah, he was one of our Chinese patrons in a kilt who was just doing some sort of Hunger Games meme. And so when that narrative fell apart, the fake news coverage escalated to very fake news. That's when the very fake journalist started using freeze frames of innocent people who we are to believe, are making Nazi salutes. In a piece titled "Rebel Media's Freedom Rally Was Bonkers," one publication went as far as using this woman's photo as their main splash. I suppose we're to think that this sweet-looking woman who looks like the sort of aunt I'd leave my hypothetical children with for a long weekend, we're supposed to think that she's a Klansman. Now, for the record, what she was actually doing was a symbol of Christian worship. It's really common in evangelical and charismatic Catholic circles. And if you don't believe me, here she is, clearly mouthing the word Amen. And there you have it. That is why the mainstream media has never been more hated, because they have resorted to tactics like turning an innocent woman's symbol of praise and worship into a bloody Sikh Heil. But I get it. These fake journalists are busybodies. They're do-gooders. They want to believe that they're fighting evil, true evil. They're looking for evil personified. That's who they want to fight, the Nazis. If only we could find an ideology that says, say, that Jews are subhumans, that says that Jews should be killed. If only there was an ideology for them to expose as advocating for the slaughter of innocents based on their religion, an ideology with blood on its hands, an ideology that has targeted and killed innocents just because of their religion. Yeah, well, I guess I'll let you know when I find the real Nazis. Meantime, how about y'all quit harassing innocent little ladies and go do your jobs? For the Rebel.media, I'm Faith Goldy. If you like venting about the mainstream media, good news, we do too. Click below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.